Hey, what's up everyone? I'm back again, and this time it's going to be a little simpler video. I'm going to show you how I'm welding the hex nut on the end of the A-arm for the spider cart. And it's not hard, but it's a little bit challenging, I guess, if you don't have, if you're just going to sit it on there, it's going to want to move. And the reason this could be an important part is because when you fit your rod end, you don't want it to hit the inside of the tube. Now this tube, this is 14 gauge. This whole body's 14 gauge, but this is 1/8 inch steel. So the reason I did that, so my weld nut has more meat to grab onto, and yeah, just basically that. So you got to have your hex nut centered on this, and not just centered, but also flat, so when it's threaded, you're not hitting anything on the inside. Now for your weld nuts, you're gonna probably get them from Amazon. I have a link. You're gonna need some vinegar to take the galvanization off. And the weld nuts I use are they're double coated, so the first coating comes off pretty easy, and then the second coating takes a little bit, but they both come off. I have a sample. You can see here, camera lady. Here's what it looks like before, and then if you want to take a look after we have the weld nut attached, you can see that. Okay. So when I first welded this, I actually did it like this, laying down on the table, and I did some tacks with the TIG welder, and I noticed it almost looks like there's a crack in there. No, that's a piece of metal. It's a piece of stray metal. I noticed that the weld nut, when I tacked it, and it's going to do that because there's some gaps, so it kind of went and did this number, and then I had to hammer it back down. And I was having a hard time because you definitely want this straight on here. And then I got to this point, so I thought, okay, let's make a video about this. If you want to look, I have my magnetic clamps here. You don't need magnetic clamps, it's just what I have. I like them, they're very versatile. Not so good on stainless steel, but they work really well for these kind of projects. And then I have I think they call this a J welding clamp. And I have other clamps, but none of them were long enough. So I just got lucky that this was long enough for this. So here we go. We're going to put this here, right there, and then we're going to get our... Now here's the interesting part. I get it started. I don't want it so super tight because I want to be able to adjust it. Then I just get it centered by hammering it into place, and I think I got perfect center now. That 1/8 inch steel really helps because I don't have as big of a void as I would have had with 14 gauge. So you can see no coating, and looking good. And now I'm in a position right here. Everything's stable. When you weld, you're going to keep the clamp on there. Now you can tighten it down. You're probably going to want to do 1, 2, 3, 4 tacks in the gappy areas so it can suck tight and really pull it in. And I'm going to gear up, and we're going to weld this right here on camera. Okay. Alright guys, if you want to come around here, see my settings. Remember, we're going from 1/8 inch steel to that thick nut. It's a grade 8 nut, by the way. So we got 17.7 volts. I wonder if I can go up one more level. Stick to 1/8 inch. So these are the settings I'm going to use, and we're going to do some hefty tacks on the corners here and get this thing secure. Ready? I think it's making a weird noise because there's not enough grounding on it. There we go, that'll work. Yeah, had a grounding issue, was making a weird squeaking noise or weird electrical, I don't know how to describe it. Let me redo this one real quick. Okay, let's review. Take a look. Come around. There's not enough light. Okay. Alright guys, so we had a successful mounting of the nut, but we want to make it strong. That's where my TIG torch comes in. If you want to look at the settings here, we got 130 amps on the auto set. It kind of does this number 1/8 inch material. It's not really 1/8 inch because it's a nut, but we're gonna go a little bit hot. I'm gonna really, for our wire we're using ERS 70-7006 706-2, whatever. We're using the -2 of filler rod because it has a higher strength, and welding wire is -6. Some of you will know what that means, some of you won't. Let's take a look. There's a lot of oil on this nut, guys. I know the oil's coming out, but we just TIG that. Let me show you guys a trick. I'm gonna knock that bead down real fast. Here we go. And then oil's brutal, huh? Try to keep the camera out of the oil because it'll get in it. All right, here we go. You want to show them? That's really washed in there. I don't get into the stacking dimes things for these kind of projects. Okay. Here we go. Ready? Nice, huh? And that is it, my friends. If you like this kind of content, go-karting stuff and different ways of doing things, 3D printing, hydroponics, like, subscribe. and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks a lot and take care. Bye-bye.